Namah Shri Atirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukhaswarupaya Swamine Tapaharine Swamine Tapaharine. So last time we were reading Swami Vivekananda's lectures from Colombo to Almora, and in that we were reading his reply to the address at Ramnath, and we saw that Swamiji again and again, every lecture, when he landed by the ship in India, Indian shores, since that time he has taken up single-mindedly he has taken up this task of revitalizing Hinduism, revitalizing Vedantism, revitalizing the Indian heritage and tradition of the Vedanta, of the rishis. And he is again and again telling that this is the only raison d'etre, means reason for existence of Indian civilization. So why Indian civilization is there? Because this is the reason for existence of Indian civilization, that it should always follow Hinduism. It should always follow the religion of the Vedanta, religion of the rishis. Why it is so? He explains it again and again in every lecture, that every person has got a temperament. Every person has got his own karmic burden, karmic force working behind him. So it is with the nations, Swamiji says. So it is with the civilizations. So it is with the races. So if the Western race has got its own karmic burden, the Western race has its own temperament, then why not have India have its own temperament and karmic force behind it? Why it should leave suddenly this karmic force, karmic burden or temperament, and suddenly jump its track and go into the different track and then just imitate it, which will be disastrous. Because if we see, if we leave our track, just like the train, if it leaves its track, it is called derailed. The train is derailed when it leaves its track. So it is called a derailment of the civilization. It will be called derailment of the society if it leaves its own original track, which is its following for thousands of years. This track, it is not suddenly newly started track. This track, this force has been there working for thousands of years. And that's why we have to understand that we have to keep it up. Now, Swamiji says that spirituality and religion are the only motive power of existence of the Indian people. But now you will say, that means everybody should live his whatever working he is doing, whatever aspirations he has, and everybody should do only spirituality and renunciation. Then he says, no, that will be a mistake. That was never intended. The main motive force would be religion. The main motive force would be renunciation and spirituality. But it will be seen, it should be seen, it must be seen that who is ready for that. So those who are not ready for that, they should be made ready. They should be prepared first. Everybody should not be forced to follow spirituality and religion and renunciation. So then he is telling that time that it will be better, in that sense, it will be better that those who are not yet ready, even in India, those who are not yet ready for taking up spirituality and renunciation and a full-time aspiring for spiritual ideals, let them let them very carefully, very cautiously learn the Western techniques, learn the Western technology, learn the Western science, but very cautiously, Swamiji says. Why he says cautiously? Because he says that I'm sorry to say that most of the examples one meets nowadays of men who have imbibed the Western ideas are more or less failures. What he is telling? That I'm sorry to say, what I see, you see, Swamiji's time itself, this was in vogue. This Western imitation, everything Western is God and everything Indian is filth. That was during Swamiji time also it had taken up. And he is a man of Calcutta. Calcutta was the very leading city and people and culture which was taking up British ideals with full enthusiasm. So he was coming from that part of the country wherein Britishers have major influence. They have almost like brainwashed the Calcutta people. Calcutta people want to think that if we imitate British, if we eat like British, if we talk like British, we will call civilized people. Will be called something great. So he is coming from that Calcutta. He is born and brought up in that Calcutta, and he himself was brought up and schooled in missionary school. So all these things he has seen, and he has also in his childhood probably had fought against his own this temptation of following Western ideals. But for meeting with Sri Ramakrishna, but for his acquaintance, his discipleship under Sri Ramakrishna, he would probably also turn another Babu. That they say, Calcutta Babu. Means what? Babus are behaving like British, they are imitating British ideals. So he would have probably turned into another Babu of Calcutta. But because he met Sri Ramakrishna, and when his life was entirely transformed, then he understood completely a village person of Kamanpukur, who has absolutely no exposure to Western education. He never joined any school. Forget about missionary school, he never joined even Indian school. That kind of person is the greatest person he saw on the planet, who has solution to all the problems of life. Whatever question he throws at him, he has the solution, Sri Ramakrishna. And then when he compared, when he went outside now for preaching of Vedanta to America, when he came back from there, now when he's speaking, he has already come back from the Western countries, seeing America, Europe. Now he has all the more conviction now. Previously, he had only seen Sri Ramakrishna as the ideal of Indian man, Indian civilization, as a representative of all the thousands of years of knowledge of the rishis. He saw a village person, a village man, as a representative of our thousands of years of spiritual traditions. He is having in his own one personality. And that person he saw, and when he went out in the Western country and he compared notes with what he learned under Sri Ramakrishna, he understood, what are we missing and what they are missing. When he is coming back, again he is telling us, see, my fellow Indian people, my brothers, see, don't please get allured by the Western ideas. That is what he's continuously he is trying to put his point. And now then we'll proceed in the next paragraph where Swami says, there are two great obstacles on our path in India. The Scylla of old orthodoxy and the Charybdis of modern European civilization. Of these two, I vote for the old orthodoxy and not for the Europeanized system. For the old orthodox man may be ignorant, he may be crude, but he is a man. He has a faith, he has strength, he stands on his own feet. While the Europeanized man has no backbone, he is a mass of heterogeneous ideas picked up at random from every source. And these ideas are unassimilated, undigested, unharmonized. He does not stand on his own feet, Europeanized man. He does not stand on his own feet and his head is turning round and round, Swami is telling. Where is the motive power of his work? In a few patronizing pats from the English people. His schemes of reforms, his vehement vituperations against the evils of certain social customs have as the mainspring some European patronage. So this we see, whatever words Swamiji is telling, even now, in fact, now they are more relatable. They are more relevant now. Every word of it is more relevant. How? You see what he is saying? What are the two great obstacles? One side, our civilization is Orthodox people, our Indian orthodoxy. One side is that which is being despised, which is being looked down upon, as it is something old, which is irrelevant. And on the other side, what is this? Modern European civilization. So Swamiji calls both what? Scylla and Charybdis of the Greek mythology. What is that? The story is what we say is the ship is going, a boat is going. On one side, it has got a sinkhole in which the ship will be sunk if it goes that side. And on this side, it has got some cave in which if it enters, it will be lost. No, in the ocean. That is some Greek mythological stories there. So in our Indian, these things also parallels are there. That if I go this side, there is a fire. And if this side is a frying pan, they say, no, from frying pan to fire. So this side is the fire of orthodoxy. And that side, I see the frying pan of modern European civilization. So what is this fire and frying pan? So he is explaining. But if I have to choose, now I have no other options. I have only two paths. One side I am seeing fire. I have to jump into the fire. Or another side I have to burn into on the frying pan. What I will choose? Swami says, I will choose this fire of orthodoxy, Indian way. Why? He explains. Why? Because he says that Indian Orthodox man is at least he is self-made man. As at least he is standing on fire. His strong rooting of thousands of years of traditions and systems that are time tested. At least whatever you call it orthodox. But he has been following his fathers, his forefathers, his hundreds of generations have been following that. What you call, what you are despising, what you are looking down upon, that orthodoxy has been standing for thousands of years. And it has got that strength. But what is European and modern European civilization? It is every day it changes. Every day they have new thought process. Every day they have new thing to jump onto. So he is telling, I won't go for it. They are absolutely unreliable. I cannot rely upon them. Though this is a fire. This orthodoxy is a fire. Because, why it is a fire? Because it is becoming more and more. Sometimes we face this challenge of reconciling it with our present life. The Indian Orthodoxy, why Swamiji is calling fire? Because it is difficult to reconcile it with our present life. It is difficult to reconcile it and to make it palatable for the modern changing context of global civilization. So that's why it is a fire. It will be very tough. It will be very challenging if we have to stick to that orthodoxy. That's why he's calling it is another challenge. But on this side, this challenge I won't take. This modern European civilization, the acceptance of modern European ideas, I won't take. Because why? He's telling, see, that he is a mass of heterogeneous ideas. A European person is a mass of heterogeneous ideas picked up at random from every source. He is just like a Wikipedia. His knowledge is from Wikipedia. Everything he reads from Wikipedia, whatever, and he has no in-depth knowledge of anything. He just knows of every system. Whatever he just Googles it, and okay, this means like this. This means like this. He sees all the tidbits of every knowledge and he relies upon that. And he jumps at whatever is convenient to him. Today he jumps at one thing, tomorrow he jumps at another thing. So he is the most unreliable person. I cannot rely upon him. Why? Next he says, and these ideas are unassimilated, undigested, unharmonized. Because every day you are changing ideas. Every day you are changing shifts. So how am I going to believe that you have assimilated one thing? You have digested one thing. You have harmonized it into your system, in your thought, in your brain, completely adjusting it. He does not stand on his own feet. And his head is turning round and round. This Europeanized person is completely confused person. Because he doesn't believe in one system of thought. He doesn't follow it whole life. He won't follow. He will follow 10 days, he will follow one system, one acharya, one guru, he will go to for 10 days. He will get bored. Then he will change another acharya. One university, he will learn, I am done in Harvard one course. Then he will go to Cambridge. And then he will come to our Varanasi University. Then he will again go to some Chinese university. He will want to go to every university and boast himself that, oh, see, I have degrees and graduations of this, so much of a scholarship of these things. But his scholarship and his scholarly this thing is what? Only a confused head which is moving around and around, which doesn't give. See, so many scholars they are saying in the Western, so many it is Harvard scholar, Cambridge scholar, Oxford scholar, Princeton scholar. These scholars are there. What they have done? What they have contributed to the world? Only confusion. They have not done anything. But what our Shankaracharya has done, what our Ramanujacharya has done, no confusion at all. They are so deeply rooted in what they want to speak, what they want to preach to world. They are not confused people. They don't want to preach their scholarship on this thing. They are just believers and their whole life, they have preached it, they have followed it. Not just going from one university in one PhD from another to another PhD. Not like just jumping ships. They are harmonized people. They are strong people. They are orthodox. Shankaracharya was orthodox. Ramanuja was orthodox. Everybody was of that line are orthodox. But Swami says, I love their orthodoxy. Though they are orthodox, they are most relevant to me. They are most near to me because they are the people who are strong, who are standing on their own feet. Whatever they may be, you may be calling them old, 1,000-year-old, but still they are standing. Nobody can challenge them. No Harvard scholar can come and challenge Shankaracharya. No Cambridge or Princeton or any scholar can come and challenge Ramanujacharya. Because what he lived, that he preached, that he studied, with that idea only he died. Entire life is soaked in that idea. So nobody can challenge it. Nobody can stand in front of Shankaracharya or Ramanujacharya and so on and so forth. But these Europeanized people, they cannot even stand. Anybody can just drive them away. With one blow of your air from your mouth, a Europeanized person can be blown away. A Europeanized scholar can be blown away by one Indian person, one Indian Acharya. He can just simply blow him away. Because one Indian Acharya, he will stand on his own feet. Though he's an orthodox man, he knows what his traditions are. He knows what his beliefs are. He knows what his history is. He knows what his culture is. And he is rooted in that culture. But a European person has no culture at all. He has no culture to belong to. He has no home to belong to. He has no ancestry to belong to. What Swami says, their ancestry, their belonging is to some pirates. Pirates of the seas, they belong to. The Europeans. They belong to looters and dacoits. They say, we are the race of such and such pirate of the Scandinavian seas and English seas or French seas or whatever. But what? Indian seas? I am the descendant of a rishi. I am the descendant of Vashishta. I am the descendant of Vishwamitra. Somebody is descendant of Atri. Somebody is descendant of Agastya. Like this, they say. Oh, who were they? They were the hermits. They were the most orthodox people living in one hermitage or studying the Vedas, teaching Sanskrit, these things, verses, and pursuing knowledge and preaching knowledge of Vedanta. These were the people whom we say our belonging to. So those people, they don't have any belonging. They cannot stand on their own feet and tell, yes, we belong to somebody who had 2,000 years before or 3,000 years before, he had told such and such things. Nobody is there in Western civilization. Absolutely nobody that they can say, we belong to him. Nobody can say. So this is what Swami say, whatever my orthodox man is, but I will bank upon him. Then he says, see how much relevant today's everything is. He does not stand on his own feet. His head is turning round and round. Where is the motive power of his work? In a few patronizing pats from the English people. So what he does, his whole strength is coming from whom? Somebody is backing him. Some money, power. Some big corporate organization is telling him, don't worry, you shout, we will give you money, whatever you want. So that is how his shouting power is coming from whom? Somebody is funding him from backside. Who is funding? Some European patronage is there. Oh, don't worry, you keep on printing the newspapers and keep on shouting and go on preaching your ideas from village to village and city to city. You erect big buildings and institutions and put big banners of your own name and your own culture and your country, and you go around the world and force yourself. And what is the strength? Because of their patronage. They are telling you, we will supply you all the funds. Don't worry. Whatever funds you need, we will supply. So what they have? The power of commerce. They have so much money. And with the power of that money, they can convert the entire world. They don't have any standing. They don't have any thought. They don't have any culture. But what is they have? They have this patronage of big establishments, empires, money-related empires, corporate empires. So what? They are running the whole show in the entire world. They are dominating. And this we see now also. What we see Indian people also, so much they are fighting against Hinduism, Vedanta, traditions, culture, everything. Where from, if you dig it, if you go to the root of that, where from this? They are getting funding from America. They are getting funding from Europe. That is why their whole shouts are there. Just to remove the funding, just to remove their strength, then they will just like a balloon, like a pricked balloon, their whole air will go out. They cannot stand on their own feet. These people in India also. So the Swamiji is saying, I will not bank on those people. I will not believe those people. Yeah, what he says, why are some of our customs called evils? These people, because of they have money, they say, what? Hindus, they are barbaric people. They don't know. They will worship trees. They'll worship stones. They'll worship whatever they want. They are aboriginals. They are tribals. Like this, they are telling. And they are evil people. Whatever they will, their customs, what their customs are. Throwing flowers at some stone and so on and so forth, they will make fun of. So they are calling this evil because the European says so. Because this European, some corporate giant is funding and he's telling, hey, you just shut them off. You just tell them that they are all fools. They are all evils. They are stupid. Then what? This person has so much money. With money, he converts people. He says, you are fools. You are idiots. You listen to me. And this is what has been happening. Not only now. This has been happening for last 100, 200 years. This continuous onslaught is going on. And as Swamiji says, that is about the reason he gives. I would not submit to that. Stand and die in your own strength, Swamiji says. Next is very important passage. This should be like a mantra we have to put in our bowls. Swamiji says, what he says, stand and die in your own strength. If there is any sin in the world, it is weakness. Avoid all weakness, for weakness is sin. Weakness is death. So this words of Swamiji should be put in bold letters in front of our walls. Whenever we get up in the morning, first we should read this. And we should understand, stand and die in your own strength. I will not copy somebody. I will not imitate somebody because he just comes in with some bundle of notes or something else, some nice dress or some fair complexion or some English language he's speaking. So, he is good. He is coming from America or Europe. No, better to die in your own strength. Don't die on his strength. It will be a most miserable death. It will be the most, pathetic death it will. Why? Because when you die, you will not have your own ground to die on. You will be dying on something which is dangling, which is flimsy, which is shaking. Better to die on a very firm ground. When you lay down your body, you will have a very firm thousands of years of standing ground beneath you. So better to die in that. Because whatever it is, my ground may not be that well kept like you. It may not be polished tiles like you. It may not be having the imported carpet like you. But whatever it is my ground. This ground is sanctified by my forefathers. This ground is sanctified by my rishis. This ground is sanctified by my great seers and my great traditional people, great cultured people. So whatever this ground is, I will better choose to die on this ground. Though it may be looking dirty, but I will choose. Rather than dying on your polished tiles and those carpets. I would not choose to do that. Because that death will be very miserable for me. I will not find anything any strong holding on that for my body to keep it on that, to lay down upon it. So this is what Swamiji's interpretation is. So what he says then, next, these unbalanced creatures are not yet formed into distinct personalities. What are we to call them? Men, women or animals? These unbalanced people. They do believe today something, tomorrow they believe something else. They are jumping ships, they are jumping their parties. So such people are what we should call them, men, women or animals. I won't be able to call them anything, these personalities. They have not yet formed distinct personalities. They are still hazy, they are still confused. They should form a distinct personality. They should have a distinct character of their own, which has been formed out of the struggles of lives and lives. Every life they have struggled to achieve that goal. They might have led their life in that. They could not achieve it. They could not fulfill it. But okay, no problem. Again I will be born. Again I will take up the same idea. Again I will go ahead with that idea. Again I may fall down. Again I may not reach that, realize it. Again I will be born. Again I will. So like this distinct personality is formed. If life by life, birth by birth, you are following, you are pursuing one ideal, then what you will become a giant like a Buddha. You will become a giant, distinct personality like Buddha, Shankara, Ramanuja. But otherwise, you will be just some, so to speak, scholar, paid scholar of some university. That's all you will be. You have no existence. You have no footage. You have no standing. You have no strength. Like this, Swamiji says, I won't believe on such people. While those, on the contrary, while those old orthodox people were staunch and were men, see, Swamiji is calling them men. They are the real men because they are standing their ground. What come what may, we will not give up. Somebody pays us $1,000 and asks us to change our name. Nothing doing. I will die poor. I will die hungry. I will die thirsty. Nothing doing. I won't care about it. I am very happily I will die. If I have to die hungry, if I have to die poor, I won't care absolutely. But somebody is giving me some 1,000 rupees and telling me, Are, you change your name, change your cloth and put your different this thing, that you change your ideal, and then I will give you good home. I'll give you good name and some job also I will give. Then that Swamiji says, I won't call that person any distinct personality. He is a man of no standing. But these Orthodox people, they lived poor, Orthodox people. Their whole life, they struggled to follow one ideal. And they kept on holding to it. Those Vedic ideas. They kept on holding to it. Nobody was there along with them to support them. Financially, no support. What financial support do we give? Even now, for that matter, those people who are holding on to those Vedas, what support they get? Nothing. They will not get money. They will not get reputation. They will not get anything in society. Society will tell them something. Oh, Orthodox, he's an Orthodox person. He's a backward person. He will get only abuses. But still he's not leave. He's ready to die, taking that abuses. Swamiji says, he is a man, He is something. He has some standing, strength. So Swamiji says, there are still some excellent examples. And now Swamiji is praising that Raja of Ramnath. The one I want to present before you now is your Raja of Ramnath. So this, your Raja of Ramnath, see, he is holding on to this orthodoxy. He is holding on to this Indian culture. And that is why he is so much encouraging it. Here you have a man than whom there is no more zealous a Hindu throughout the length and breadth of this land. Here you have a prince than whom there is no prince in this land better informed in all affairs, both Oriental and Occidental, who takes from every nation whatever he can that is good. So he takes, he is very enlightened person. He takes from every nation what is good, but he doesn't leave his orthodoxy. He doesn't leave his own faith. That is what he's praising Raja of Ramnath, because he's hosting that whole congregation. And he welcomed Swamiji. And he had encouraged Swamiji to go to West and preach Hinduism. So it was Swamiji's gratitude, expression of gratitude to this Raja of Ramnath. Then Swamiji says, who takes from every nation whatever he can that is good. Then he says, learn good knowledge. He's quoting Manu now, Manusmriti. Swamiji is quoting. Learn good knowledge with all devotion from the lowest caste. Manu is saying this. Learn the way to freedom, even if it comes from a pariah or pariah, by serving him. If a woman is a jewel, take her in marriage, even if she comes from a low family of the lowest caste. Such is the law laid down by our great and peerless legislator, the divine Manu. So Swami is telling, see, even Manusmriti, the Manu also was so great. His laws were so great. What they are telling, what exactly we should hold on to? That he said, learn good knowledge with all devotion from the lowest caste. If it is coming from a person of lowest caste, people were so liberal. Only now people have become narrow-minded because of this same Europeanizing. Everything is because of European ideas, accepting blindly what we became. We were much more liberals. See, this Manu was so liberal. But now he will be quoted, he will be misquoted and told that, see, your Manu was like this, he told like this, that's why you are all irrelevant. So entire misquoting is going up. Because what? European patronage. Even now it is there. Even now, because the funding is coming from America and Europe, some Hindu by name only, he will rise and tell, oh, Manusmritis are all bogus. Some person of some caste will come and so the Manu has told against our caste. Manu was always despising our caste, or he was against lower caste. Where is he against lower caste? He is telling to all the caste people that go and learn. If some lower caste person has a good knowledge, learn it with all devotion, he is telling. Be devoted to that person and learn it at his feet. That is what Manu is telling. What Manu is telling, Learn the way to freedom, even if it comes from a pariah. The very sweeper, if he comes, and teaches you the knowledge of liberation, how to attain liberation, then sit at his feet and attain it. The Manu is telling this. And now then what is he telling next? If a woman is a jewel, take her in marriage even if she comes from a low family of the lowest caste, he is telling. So Manu had told that if some woman is there who has a great character, she is a great woman of great character and qualities, then you should not look at her caste. That is what laws of Manus were. And Swamiji is quoting them. This is true, Swamiji is saying. Stand on your own feet and assimilate what you can. Learn from every nation. Take what is of use to you. But remember that as Hindus, everything else must be subordinated to our own national ideals. Each man has a mission in life, which is the result of all his infinite past karma. Each of you was born as a splendid heritage, which is the whole of the infinite past life of your glorious nation. Millions of your ancestors are watching, as it were, every action of yours, so be alert. They are all watching, because they have molded you. They have created you, your ancestors, and thousands of years they have been molding you into this, and they are watching you from above. Swamiji is telling, as if they are expecting you to carry forward their legacy. All those ancestors, all those forefathers, all those rishis are looking at you from above. Oh, my children, what are you doing? You are spoiling our own ideals. We have been so closely holding those ideals for ages to our bosom. Bit closely, we have been embracing these ideas for thousands of years, and you are just because some babu comes from European, jacketed person comes and he tells you are all fools. You immediately believe him that you are all fools, and whatever you are following is a wrong thing. Oh, they are telling from above, please, they are expecting you not to leave this legacy, but to stand on your own strength and die in your own strength. They will be happy. They'll be happy if you die carrying forward their legacy. If you die poor, they will be happy. If you die miserable because of not having any support, but you are carrying forward their flag, they will be very happy. Oh, at least one child of mine is there, one descendant of mine is there who stood to what I preached, to what I lived. They will be very happy and they will bless you. Don't worry. So Swamiji is telling Hindus, see, please wake up now. See, how much you will imitate, how long you will imitate others. So Bhagavad Gita also Bhagavan says to Sri Krishna, Paradharmo bhayava, Swadharme nidanam shreya. Exactly that is what Swami is saying. Swadharme nidanam shreya. Whatever your dharma is, whatever your religion is, whatever your tradition is, whatever your culture is, better to die in it. Nidanam shreya. This is not told by Swamiji 100 years back, but this is told by Bhagavan thousands of years back on the battlefield to Arjuna. That Arjuna, don't get swayed by some ideals that have been presented by Kauravas, or that have been presented by your other things. You stick to your guns. You stick to your dharma. Don't get confused. Oh, that my Acharya Dronacharya is there against me. My Bhishmacharya, my great Parampitama is there in front of me. Don't get confused. You stick to your culture. You stick to your tradition. You stick to your dharma. What is your dharma? You will have to fight this righteous war. So don't think because Dronacharya is on that side, their side is righteous. Because Bhishmacharya is on their side, probably they are righteous and you are getting confused. Don't get confused. Believe in yourself that what you are doing, what you are fighting has been the very urgent and important cause, and you stick to your side. So this is what Swami is telling. The same problems are coming. Humanity is always thousands of years. It suffers with the same problem, the confusion. It cannot understand what should I follow. What is my ideal? Always brain confuses you. It tempts you. It will show so many people, so many things in front of you. And today you want to go with one person. Tomorrow, and after going with that person, tomorrow you realize that person is a useless person. Then tomorrow you want to go with another person. Then tomorrow, after going with that person, you realize that person also useless person. Then you go third day and you want to go with another person. This way, you are just going from one person to following one ideal from another ideal. And you are getting confused. You are wasting your life. But what is told in the scriptures? That believe first. First, work out what is exactly your tradition, what is exactly your legacy, and then understand it properly, and then stick to it. Come what may. Don't get confused. Don't get swayed. And then you fight this war. And even if Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna, even if you die, Arjuna, you will attain to heavens. And if you win, if you live and win this war, you will enjoy the earth. Because if you win this war of cultures, war of religion, your religion has to be stuck to. If you win this war, you will enjoy. Because you have won now. Your religion only will survive. Your culture will only survive on this earth. So you will nicely enjoy the fruits of that, sweet fruits of that struggle, battle. But if you die, what will happen? Because you died for your own legacy, protecting it. Wherever, even if you died miserable, don't worry, Arjuna. Even if you die like that, but you will attain to Swarga. Hatova prapsese Swargam. Jitva ma bhoksese mahim. Tasmad uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya kritanishchaya. That's what Bhagavan is telling Arjuna. The same thing Swami is telling. Nothing, no change. Only Swami is telling in English, Bhagavan told in Sanskrit. That is the only difference. So what Swami is telling, the same thing. But remember that as Hindus, everything else must be subordinated to our own national ideals. Each man has a mission in life, which is the result of all his infinite past karma. Each of you was born with a splendid heritage, which is the whole of the infinite past life of your glorious nation. Millions of your ancestors are watching, as it were, every action of yours. So be alert. Be alert, he's saying. And what is the mission with which every Hindu child is born? Have you not read the proud declaration of Manu regarding the Brahmin, where he says that the birth of the Brahmin is for the protection of the treasury of religion? I should say that is the mission not only of the Brahmin, but of every child, whether boy or girl, who is born in this blessed land. What is that mission? What is the single-minded mission he should be? For the protection of the treasury of religion, Swami says. That Manu had given this mission. Manu quoted this mission only for the Brahmin. But what Swami says, no. In those days, only Brahmin was assigned this duty by Manu to protect the treasury of religion. But now I assign this duty to every Hindu child. Be a boy or girl, I assign this duty to you all. Oh, Hindus, I assign this duty, protect your religion. This is what Swamiji is telling. Now Manu had told this thing because that time it was not necessary to give this duty to everybody. That was sufficient those days, that Brahmin should protect the treasury of religion. But now everybody is necessary to take this up because the times are much worse than those times of Manu's times. So this Swamiji is telling. So whether boy or girl who is born in this blessed land for the protection of the treasury of religion, and every other problem in life must be subordinated to that one principal theme. So this, what we should do? One principal theme, one national theme is what? Protection of Hindu religion. That is the national theme. That is the national ideal Swamiji gives us, all of us. And subordinate everything. If you hold on to that one ideal, whether you are a sannyasi or a householder or a vanaprasthi or a brahmachari or anything, you are in your walk of life, your only one ideal, one national theme, one central theme should be to protect Hindu religion. And subordinate it with what? Other things. That you may do some commerce, you may do some living business, you may do some other works. You may learn some European techniques, science and technology. That is no problem. But that will be subordinated to this one national ideal of Hindu life, living Hindu life. First live Hindu life. And then whatever you want, you learn European science and technology. Whatever businesses you want to learn there, you do. But after being Hindu, a staunch Hindu, a traditional Hindu, an orthodox Hindu, if you become like that, and then you can you invite some Western ideas, you execute some Western techniques, technology, no problem. Swami is saying. Subordinated. The central highest this thing is what? Goal is that pursuing Hindu ideal. And the subordinate ideas, by the way ideas, we say, oh, by the way, if it happens, I will like to do that. So by the by, if it is possible, then pursue European technology, Western technology and science. But first, your duty as a national life, as a Hindu, what is your duty? Is to stick to your orthodoxy. That is also the law of harmony in music, Swamiji says. There may be a nation whose theme of life is political supremacy. Religion and everything else must become subordinate to that one great theme of its life. There may be a nation who have been pursuing political ideals for thousands of years. So for them, I will say, yes, you please don't come to religion and spirituality as a mainstream. You take it as a subordinate. So you also may follow religion and spirituality, but by the by you follow. But for other nation like us, he says, but here is another nation whose great theme of life is spirituality and renunciation, whose one watchword is that this world is all vanity and a delusion of 3 days. And everything else, whether science or knowledge, enjoyments or powers, wealth, name or fame, must be subordinated to that one theme. The secret of a true Hindu's character lies in the subordination of his knowledge of European sciences and learning, of his wealth, position and name, to that one principal theme which is inborn in every Hindu child, the spirituality and purity of the race. So he is telling, subordination of knowledge of European science and learning. He is not denying it. He is not telling them, hey, don't go to that. They are Blake Charles. Don't cross the oceans. So this Swamiji is not telling. He definitely tell, do this. Definitely imbibe all those things, but not as a main thing, but as a subordinate thing. And then what he says, therefore, between these two, the case of the orthodox man who has the whole of that life spring of the race, spirituality, and the other man whose hands are full of Western imitation jewels, but has no hold on the life-giving principle, spirituality. Of these, I do not doubt that everyone here will agree that we should choose the first, the orthodox, because there is some hope in him. He has the national theme, something to hold to. So he will live, but the other will die. Just as in the case of individuals, if the principle of life is undisturbed, if the principal function of that individual life is present, any injury received as regards other functions are not serious, do not kill the individual. So as long as this principal function of our life is not disturbed, nothing can destroy our nation. So we see, somebody is, just Swamiji is giving example, somebody meets an accident and he breaks his leg or breaks his hand or breaks some other bone. But so far as his main life, vital organs are intact, then his life doesn't aid. This life force won't leave his body because vital organs are functioning. Some leg fracture has come or some skull injury is there, something. So that jiva, that pranas will not leave that body. The pranas will stay intact. What was sometimes a serious injury it may be, but vital organs are still functioning. Heart is still functioning, brain is still functioning, kidney, liver, everything is still functioning. Other organs are badly hurt, but the person still lives. Like that Swamiji says. So what he's saying, see, as if the principal function of that individual life is present, any injuries received as regard other functions not serious, do not kill the injured. So like this, what happens if our principal idea or principal orthodoxy, if it survives, then our national personality, if you call the whole India as one jiva, as one person, that person will not die. If that vital organs are still surviving, if that vital organs of this orthodoxy, if they are still surviving, then he won't die. But if that also he will leave, if that orthodoxy is also left, if that tradition is also left, that culture is also left, that heritage also is left, then what happens? The vital organs also will give. Then the brain is not, they will be, that Indian organism will become brain dead or heart dead or liver dead, like this. Then what happens? Then the pranas will say, no, I cannot continue in this form. So like this it will happen. So we have to protect, Swami says. It is our duty to protect the vital organs because they are the thing. So that is what he is telling. But mark you, next he says, if you give up that spirituality, leaving it aside to go after the materializing civilization of the West, the result will be that in 3 generations, you will be an extinct race. Because your pranas will leave. Your pranas will say, oh, vital organs are all not there. They are damaged. So Swamiji is warning them. If you completely copy and leave your vitality, you leave your own strength, then you will perish within 3 generations. because the backbone of the nation will be broken. The foundation upon which the national edifice has been built will be undermined, and the result will be annihilation all around. All around. So Swamiji is telling that this is continuously is warning the Hindu race to wake up to its own heritage and to do whatever possible, die for it, protecting, nothing doing, no other compromise, because these are the vital organs, they must be protected. Because our collective organism of India, this great nation, has to be protected at any cost, at any sacrifice. This is what Swamiji's call is. Therefore, my friends, the way out is that, first and foremost, we must keep a firm hold on spirituality, that inestimable gift handed down to us by our ancient forefathers. Did you ever hear of a country where the greatest kings tried to trace their descent, not to kings, not to robber barons living in old castles who plundered poor travelers, but to semi-naked sages who lived in the forest? Do you ever hear of such a land? This is the land. In other countries, great priests try to trace their descent to some king. But here, the greatest kings would trace their descent to some ancient priest. Therefore, whether you believe in spirituality or not, for the sake of the national life, you have to get a hold on spirituality and keep to it. Then stretch the other hand out and gain all you can from other races. But everything must be subordinated to that one ideal of life. And out of that, a wonderful, glorious future India will come. I'm sure it is coming, a greater India than ever was. Sages will spring up, greater than all the ancient sages. And your ancestors will not only be satisfied, but I'm sure they will be proud from their positions in the other worlds to look down upon their descendants, so glorious and so great. So what he's saying, with one hand, hold on to this orthodoxy, never give up. Hold on to this tradition, and with other hand, you may learn European some technology. So this combination you do. So with this combination, the great India of the future will come. And with this combination, the future sages are going to come, Swami says. And those future sages who are going to come in India, they will be more glorious than the ancient sages. Swami is praising, see, Swami is so great that he always praises everybody he sees. He says, sages will spring up greater than all the ancient sages. And when those greater ancient sages will look down at all these Indian sages, the future sages or future civilization, they will be very happy and they will say, what they will say? So glorious, great. They will be proud of their positions in other worlds. They will be very proud. Oh, see, we are so proud of you all, our children, our descendants, that you have become so glorious. Oh, we are really feeling so proud about being here and looking at you, and we are enjoying looking at you being so glorious. So this is what Swamiji is dreaming. This is what the future India is. Let us all work hard, my brethren. This is no time for sleep. On our work depends the coming of the India of the future. She is there ready waiting. She is only sleeping. Arise and awake and see her seated here on her eternal throne, rejuvenated, more glorious than she ever was, this motherland of ours. The idea of God was nowhere else ever so fully developed as in this motherland of ours. For the same idea of God never existed anywhere else. Perhaps you are astonished by my assertion, but show me any idea of God from any other scripture equal to ours. They have only clan gods, the gods of the Jews, the gods of the Arabs, and of such and such race. And their God is fighting the gods of the other races. But the idea of that beneficent, most merciful God, our father, our mother, our friend, the friend of our friend, the soul of our souls, is here and here alone. Only India has such God, who doesn't fight with other gods, who encompasses all the gods, who is all-pervading, eternal, undying principle of absolute existence, Satchidananda. This idea never you feel. Jews will say our God, Jehovah. Arabs will say our God, and they will fight with each other, their gods, because the God, if one God will win over other God, then their race will be supreme. So like this, their gods fight with each other. But our God, the only Indian God, is the God who never fights with everyone. Why? Because he is God of all. He is not only God of Indians, but God of Arabs, God of Jews, God of every other nation and country and planet, whatever. So this is what our God is. And that God is? Our God Father. He's our father, mother, friend of the friend. No, friend of our friend, soul of our soul. Such is that God. He is so intimate. He is my very soul. He is not somewhere else. He is not hanging on some clouds. He is not hanging in some heaven. So where is He? He is the soul of my soul. He is the friend of my friend. He is the mother of me. He is my father. So like this, Tvameva Mata, Pita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhu Sakha Tvameva. So like this, our God is. So this is what Swami said. Is there any God? Let me boldly assert this, that there is no other God in the world than the God that is preached by Vedanta. And may He, who is the Shiva of the Shaivites, the Vishnu of the Vaishnavites, the Karma of the Karmis, the Buddha of the Buddhists, the Jina of the Jains, the Jehovah of the Christians and the Jews, the Allah of the Mohammedans, the Lord of every sect, the Brahman of the Vedantists, He, the all-pervading, whose glory has been known only in this land. May He bless us. May He help us. May He give strength unto us, energy unto us, to carry this idea into practice. May that which we have listened to and studied become food to us. May it become strength in us. May it become energy in us to help each other. May we, the teacher and the taught, not be jealous of each other. Peace, peace, peace. In the name of Hari. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Taksat. So this lecture we have finished. Ramnath. And next time we will take up a new.